Today, it is an honor to be amongst the galaxy of the experts and legends of the broadcasting industry from across the spectrum, from television, radio, films to mobile, OTT, IPTV, and the dynamic world of the content creation and delivery. At the outset, I extend my warm greetings to everyone who has come here and participated and have contributed for last 3 4 days. I believe today is the last and culminating day. The challenges in the era of AI, artificial intelligence, has brought significant innovations to broadcasting, transforming how content is created, distributed, and consumed. As far as content creation is concerned, AI algorithms can create and generate news summaries, sports highlights, and even entire programs almost in a real time mode, reducing production time as well as costs. As far as personalized content delivery issues are there, AI driven recommendation systems enable personalized content curation, enhancing viewer engagement and satisfaction. AI powered tools can automate video editing, captioning, subtitling, streamlining post production workflows. The best part is that AI driven analytics provide insights into the viewer behavior, enabling broadcasters to optimize content as well as work out the advertising strategies, which could lead to a lot of ancillary business also coming out of the broadcasting, and not only business, rather reaching it to the most optimal levels as well. AI enhanced virtual reality and augmented reality experiences are redefining immersive storytelling and interactive broadcasting. They can enhance live broadcasts with real time graphics, augmented reality effects, and automated commentary. AI powered tools can detect and filter out objectionable content, which is also becoming a challenge as we are growing into a revolution of broadcasting events. This certainly can help in ensuring a safer viewing experience, and this is not as much to censor, but just control the objectionable content. Speech recognition and translation is a very important aspect. AI driven speech recognition and translation technologies can enable real time subtitling and multilingual broadcasting. Already, Prasar Bharati has come out with various such kind of mechanisms whereby whenever Honorable Prime Minister is addressing the nation in different states, the subtitling is simultaneously available for the people of that region to understand what is being talked about. These innovations are revolutionizing, and broadcasting industry is much more enabled. It is becoming more efficient. It is having the elements which could customize and personalize solutions and create immersive content experiences. Cloud services have really revolutionized the broadcasting industry by leveraging AI tools to enhance content production, distribution, and viewer engagement. Here are some key ways in which cloud services are really aiding and enhancing the broadcasting industry. One is about content production and post production, where you can do automated video editing. You can create AI assisted content generation using algorithms which will generate news summaries, sports highlights, even entire programs, and reducing the production time and the costs. Real time analytics, as I mentioned, can be a big game changer as it can peep into the viewer behavior, forcing the broadcaster to look into various areas in which this needs to be modified while the program is on. Content distribution and playout. AI optimizes content distribution, ensuring broadcasts reach the right audience at the right time while maximizing capacity across various platforms. AI can generate a lot of metadata for content automatically, enhancing discoverability on platforms and streaming services. I would like to narrate out of my own experience of having worked in Sunset TV, where we used Amazon Web Services for generation of lot of metadata. For example, if we are looking for a particular video or a broadcast or the debate which was being discussed in the parliament, where Prime Minister, or for that matter, any other important functionary or any other important minister spoke about an issue, we can have one metadata using the name of the speaker, second, the number of the parliament session, third, whether it is Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha, fourth, subject, what is the topic on which it is being discussed. If there are any place specific issues, reference of that particular place, all these data. So we created almost 17 metadata with which any particular video could have been tracked or recalled or retrieved. And this you could do even from their archiving or the deep archiving. Cloud-based content delivery networks ensure high quality, low latency streams regardless of the viewer location. And many of us have seen how this has revolutionized when we have so many OTT platforms. And without any latency, without any buffering, we can now watch a lot of content. Personalized content recommendations using the AI powered tools can analyze viewer behavior, provide personalized content recommendations, and targeted advertising. We can also use AI to gauge the audience sentiment towards broadcast. It could also help a lot of business people for designing their campaigns, designing their marketing strategies, and even political parties to reach out to masses about the kind of good work that they have done when they go for electioneering. And many such things can be achieved which were unthinkable in the conventional systems when AI was not there or AI was not being used. Real time polling and interactive features are very important. AI driven tools can enable real time audience polling, interactive features enhancing the viewer engagement. And there are, of course, many other benefits of this, such as the scalability, allowing broadcasters to easily scale up operations, bringing in cost efficiencies, the need for avoiding the physical infrastructure. AWS also used to provide us the virtual studios, whereby we don't need to create proper studios or proper backgrounds. Even virtual systems were good enough for us to create a different kind of environment. Many of us have seen that we can change some of the backgrounds while even working in the Google Meet or this many other online meeting platforms. So all those technologies can be used in a much more advanced manner to achieve this kind of additional benefit, which is value added and very minimal in costs because they come on the subscription basis. Now, while all that is true, still we need to look towards 2047, where our Honorable Prime Minister has given us a target, not just the dream, a target for achieving the Viksit Bharat. And how do we do that? We still need to upgrade and bring in a lot of physical infrastructure. And there comes in the role of the Make in India initiative. I am given to understand that after this discussion, a full fledged panel discussion is going to be unleashed on Make in India. So I'll just touch upon few things that I know about this. In the broadcasting sector, Make in India vision perhaps can translate into indigenizing core broadcast infrastructure from transmitters and studio systems to set top boxes, digital radio receivers, and OTT platforms. It can reduce import dependency by nurturing local manufacturing of high value components such as encoders, multiplexers, and AI driven production as well as post production tools, creating employment and building skills in areas like embedded systems, signal processing, and media software development. One of the one of the deterrents and the threat that is seen in the era of AI that it is going to take away all the jobs. It is just like when we were shifting from the manual systems into computerization, people thought many jobs will go. One set of people lost jobs, more skilled people, the same people after skilling and training came up and they started working in the computerized system. Same scenario is likely to be here when we create this kind of mechanism where AI reliance is there. AI has to be used effectively. There will be plethora of new employment opportunities also, which will further strengthen Make in India program. As far as strategic priorities for Make in India in broadcasting are concerned, we need to focus on AI integrated production tools, support startups and MSMEs in developing AI powered tools for editing, transcription, localization, and content recommendation. Incentivize innovation in multilingual AI anchors and automated newsrooms tailored to diverse Indian audiences. Broadcast equipment manufacturing clusters perhaps need to be created because in many industries, the cluster approach has been very, very successful. And India needs to establish specialized electronic manufacturing clusters. Some of them have already started, even in Noida, in Tamil Nadu, and also in the vicinity of Cyberabad and Hyderabad, in partnership with the MITI and DPIIT, which focus on the broadcast and media technologies. We need to align our policies with the production linked incentive schemes. Government of India, under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, has already come out with a lot of such PLI schemes, be it for drones, be it for the electronic manufacturing, mobiles, etc. Similarly, focused on the broadcasting sector, we need a PLI scheme to attract high tech manufacturing ecosystem, which could attract investments from the private sector. Coming to the global standards and the local innovation, I think we need to have active engagement with the forums like ITU, EBU, ABU, etc., presenting indigenous solution to the global challenges. Developing interoperable standards compliant products suited for both domestic needs and export to the emerging markets will not only make us self reliant, it will also make us export competitive and a big market player. As far as digital radio ecosystem is concerned, we can promote indigenous development of digital radio receivers, chipsets, and middleware, foster public-private R&D partnerships to deliver affordable, feature-rich digital radio solutions for the mass deployment. Direct to mobile broadcasting can harness the convergence of the telecom and the broadcast sectors to develop D2M enabled smartphones and chipsets under the Make in India framework. All of it can position India as a pioneer in the global D2M standards applications and create scalable models. Friends, artificial intelligence is not just a tool, it is a transformative force shaping the future of media. In broadcasting, AI is revolutionizing content creation, via generative tools, virtual sets, and automated dubbing, enhancing accessibility with real time captioning, translation, and voice synthesis across Indian languages, driving monetization through personalized content delivery and intelligent advertisement insertions. Integrating AI into our Make in India strategy will certainly enable us to accelerate product development using AI assisted design and validation. It will certainly improve our manufacturing growth as well as efficiency through predictive maintenance and AI based quality control systems. We can deliver export ready next gen broadcast tools that will meet the global demand for the smart media technologies. As all of you know, we are a huge nation of 1.5 billion people almost. And India is actually much more than a market. No amount of technological adaptation or development can take place without considering India or the Indians in picture. It is a huge movement which affects the global decisions. I hope and believe that the confluence of the ideas from various experts in BES Expo 2025 would certainly reflect solutions to respond to our collective ambition to lead this transformation. With these few words, I would close and thank you very much and wish you all the very best to come from the deliberations from the rest of the sessions. Thank you.
Beginning with what Make in India initiative was back in 2014. All of us were a witness to that historic announcement. I think it came down in September 2014, soon after the new government had taken place, had taken its oath. And if you all remember and try to recall the kind of scenario which was there at that point in time across the world, was that India was being named as one of the fragile five economies, one of the economies which, like Brazil and several others, which were equated with India. There was cases of bubble burst of their growth. Even India, for that matter, was at the lowest growth point in the last 10 years. And there it was understood that if we don't work on this kind of an initiative, wherein we make sure that we are harnessing our true potential, not just as a market, but also as a country which is going to make goods for not just for our own market, but for the entire world. And in that backdrop, I still remember that I was on a deputation to Ministry of Mines then, and we had a huge conglomeration called by Honorable Prime Minister in December 2014 in Vigyan Bhavan, where all the important secretaries of Government of India, and they were gelled again with all the important key stakeholders of various industries across India. And it was a day long workshop, and whatever we saw for the next 8, 10 years had rooted in that basic interaction between the industry and the government. And it laid down a basic principle that the government's role is not that of a licensing, not that of instituting some regulations, but it is more of a partner in the whole growth system for Make in India. So that was the day when we saw that the spirit of ease of doing business evolve, wherein our ecosystem was supposed to be made to be able to absorb the investment which is likely to come, likely to be present. be it state systems, be it central government's institutions, all were put under a reform mode for their processes. And that was a beginning which included self reform, and also reaching out with institutions like Invest India, and uh, and making sure that the global investment lays its eyes on India as a profitable position. So in that background, it is here we sit down, and I truly believe that most of the government departments, even the ones which were hitherto like on their own, they have been touched upon, and ease of doing business has been instituted in most of the systems. So here we are talking about Make in India for the broadcasting sector, and wherein an ecosystem is already present with full ease of doing business. There was a request from Roxandra, who's the consortium chairman for Digital Radio Montreal. So she requested that she wants to go first. She has got a wonderful presentation. We'd like to invite her first to do that. Then we'll go with the other panelists.
I won't bore you here with a lot of technicalities. You are all uh, versed in technology. I will just simply make the point that analog FM radio is a good platform. It's 70, 80 years old. It gives you one program, one channel, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. Whereas DRM digital radio, it gives you an enhanced experience. It uses its XO compressed digital modern formula, and it also offers new revenue opportunities. Let's not hide behind the many words. We want something that gives listener satisfaction, but also creates business, jobs, and money. Next one, please. Again, not very much about the standard. It's one of the two big open standards. DRM is an open standard, ITU recognized, and the only standard that can digitize any frequency band. Next slide, please. So, a lot of people say, why did India go for DRM? Why use DRM in India? Well, uh, a few facts first. India is the largest digital radio market in the world. If you didn't know this and you wonder why not, then there is still a lot of work to be done to roll it out properly and to communicate. It has a significant HF and AM coverage with digital receivers. And again, what you might not know, DRM receivers are in over 7 million Indian cars on the road. One of them, so it's 6 million, 99, 99, 99, and so on. One of each is in front of this hall. It's an EV MG with DRM receiver. And India has invested a lot and is spending a lot of money every day to keep digital transmissions on air. The benefits are that there is a standard in this country which is open, fully tested, giving you spectrum savings, giving you a possibility of using white spaces and maximizing the spectrum in a way that no other standard does. It also gives energy savings, very important, up to 80% in AM and up to 90% in FM. FM is very good, but is very energy hungry. There are receiver solutions available, ready to be manufactured. We are waiting for the Indian industry to come, and so we can help really roll out the millions of receivers that the country needs. We can deliver through DRM disaster warnings, so important in this country. We have worked already with NDMA. Distance learning is a fantastic opportunity, and there are social, economic benefits for all Indians, apart from what the listeners get. There is job creation at all levels, if you think of it, and it meets the imperative of make in India for India and for the world. Next slide, please. Not going into all this, just the first point, if you want to look at it, the difference analog digital. In analog, you get one program on the air. In digital, at DRM, you get up to three audio programs and one data. And moreover, in FM, you only use half of that spectrum, 100 kilohertz, three programs, one data. Fantastic. Apart from other multimedia, emergency warning functionality, good coverage, and linking back, if necessary, to the analog. DRM is also offering a clear path to simulcasting, which a lot of broadcasters are asking about. Next slide, please. DRM in India, I give you an update. Some of you know. Uh, Transmitters, people, and the fact that All India Radio is doing exclusive content in DRM. Uh, I'm sure that if you had a DRM receiver, you would not be here but watching cricket. And I would be crying because I see England losing again. So, in any case, uh, through multilingual journal line, you get much more than simple audio. And I mentioned emergency warning, e-learning, many extra benefits that digital um, can offer. Next one, please. Um, we are, as you know, expecting a decision on what is happening with the FM. FM, phase one, phase two, next week, phase three, private broadcasters, community stations, but also strong AIR presence on FM. We hope that India will go the obvious way, which extend the standard that is already in AM to FM, and use the fantastic development of DRM to use multicasting, which for those who do not know means one digital transmitter integrated into the CTI, so it's part of the Indian landscape, and delivering up to 6 blocks, 18 programs and data, and being able to accommodate various partners, broadcasters, without them losing control, independence over their content. The coverage of DRM in FM is excellent. And we know that there are receiver solutions. And for those 7 million cars I mentioned, there are options to upgrade via software. Imagine if you chose something different, then you would create absolutely chaos in the market. Next slide, please. We think that DRM meets the Indian environment and needs perfectly, is therefore not only make in India, but made for India. And I've chosen two very short examples. Don't get bored, it will be very short. Multi-channel, I explained. I am just illustrating now with some slides, but our experts are still here able to give you more explanation. Can we go to the next slide, please? This is about FM. Next slide, please. And this is how it looks, the 6 blocks I was mentioning from one digital transmitter. Each block could be a broadcaster. Each broadcaster could have 3 programs and 1 data. And can you imagine all these 6 broadcasters will share the cost of 1 transmitter, 1 electricity bill, 1 antenna. Everything will be a fraction for each broadcaster. This is the model we propose that India applies and integrates in its CTI. CTI is something very Indian. We haven't found it in any other country, but the DRM model fits it perfectly. Next slide, please. For the technically minded, and I won't go into great details here, it shows how you can go for different options and blocks up to those 6 blocks, which can have different power levels, coverage. So there is a flexible solution for all broadcasters while they keep their independence. 18 audio, 6 multimedia journal line services side by side from one transmitter. That is the proposition, and it could become the Indian model for the world. Next one, please. DRM applications, I mentioned already the warning functionality, the fact that DRM can offer um, disaster warning in a very tailored way. So not the whole country rushes in despair because there are floods or fires or tsunamis or whatever. And the distance learning. Uh, Distance learning in DRM is the first in the world, and it uses artificial intelligence, already mentioned here in the presentation. Let's go to the next one, and I'm almost finished. This is how it works. It goes from transmitter to receiver with Wi-Fi, and then uh, up to how many students you want, they can link on very cheap tablets, because the receiver actually functions as a sort of station for all these students. What's the beauty of it? The beauty is they don't need internet. The beauty is that you could have such a lecture, training course, uh, information, um, to all the corners of India, whether they have internet or not, 5G or even electricity. You could have a fantastic lecture from an Institute of Technology for all the students all over the country. And you would use DRM. You would use one of those, possibly one of those 3 channels I was talking to you about. Now, question, because I see people coming and going. I have a little film, a little video of the first such application we did in West Africa. Do you want to see it, or do you want to receive it on your tablets? Hands up, who wants to see it? Nobody. Oh, always the people at the back who want to see it.
You can play it, Rosandra.
Yeah, let's play it. Next slide, please. And if you can press. This is a report on no, go back, please. Press on the video. Underneath the picture, there is a video. I hope I convinced you. This was a report on national television in the Gambia where we carried out the test, showing the students receiving a math lesson, which was not just a lesson, but it had tasks to be fulfilled. It had a lesson that could be repeated, so people, and it had a quiz for or homework for the students to prepare for the next day. Emergency warning uh, has been demonstrated together with NDMA, and it just shows how the alarm authority, the government, NDMA, could use the infrastructure, the DRM infrastructure, uh, to trigger it to go to the digital radio emergency warning manager, and then to reach those regions that absolutely need to be alerted. DRM offers several things. First of all, disaster warning in more than one language. You have so many languages in India. What's the point of having just English if people in a particular region speak, I don't know, Gujarati, Punjabi? What is the use if you have a big city where people speak many languages? DRM can offer that disaster warning in several languages. What happens if there is such a disaster that the whole infrastructure is down? Mobile phones are down. We know they are the first to go. Television goes down. We know it's the second to go. Radio is the most resilient. So we have digital radio. They could deliver that emergency warning in several languages with text through the journal line, which is incorporated or used by DRM. So the population would be alerted. Their receivers in standby would wake up. Disasters often happen at 2 o'clock in the morning. It would wake up the receiver and tell you, run to the hills. Or it could simply raise the level. Other regions that are not affected will continue with the program. If there is a region that is completely devastated, you could do the emergency warning from outside that region in radio and digital. So, digital radio is not just for entertainment, is not just for Bollywood music, but is also for saving lives. Next one, please. So, a lot of discussions is about, okay, fantastic. We have the applications. It's working in India. DRM is Indian. I see it as an Indian standard. How about the receivers, cars, mobiles, standalone solutions? And what I'm saying is they exist. They are based on Indian innovation, Indian applications, and joint ventures. Just like a few examples here. I mentioned over 7 million new vehicles with DRM receivers. I told you about the one in front of this hall, which is in EV. It's an electric vehicle, so it's the latest. I'll give you a few examples of companies that are either working with Indian experts or are here in India with important centers employing Indian experts. Where you see your flag, you will know these are some of these companies. I will draw attention to Intot, which is a southern India company, much decorated by the local government and by the Delhi government. Um, Intot is already supplying the necessary chipset modules uh, for 1.5 million of those 7 million cars. Here is a bit more about them and what they have done and what they can offer. And they are also working in software. And this is a pure example of Indian enterprise and innovation. Good for them. Optim is another Indian company, and it also integrates solutions like AM, FM, DRM, and is also working for ATAC 3.0 or 3.0, which some of you know about, and which is an absolute new development in the world, in the US, and in generally in the world and in India. NXP, the largest chipset manufacturer in the world, with a huge base in Bangalore. Lots of experts. One of them has been hijacked and is at our booth. I have to soon uh, finish, and I am almost finished. CML Micro, it's a receiver module. It has created a simple radio. Some of you have seen the small radio, which we hope one day will be just 1,000 rupees. It's a basic radio, and it's something manufactured in cooperation with Shemish Grove Solutions of India. That is the model. That is the Make in India model. This is the receiver. And of course, there are other manufacturers like Starwaves. They have the modules, they have the radio, which we used in the distance learning example. And we have, of course, the DRM receiver kit software for automotive, mobile phones, and consumer radio. And we are supported by Fraunhofer IS from Germany, who's working with a lot of these companies I mentioned before. Um, a lot of people talk about direct to mobile, the importance of mobile, the 1 billion mobiles, whether they are feature or advanced. We have the solution. We are looking for partners that will give us the fully integrated solution of DRM in mobiles, because we realize that that is the receiver. The receiver of the future is in the car and in the mobile. I mean, we can look at standalone and put our vase of flowers on it, but for radio, that's what we need. We have the solution with an app and an add-on, but we want it integrated. And discussions are continuing. We are looking for good Indian partners because they are clever and they can do Apple and they can also do DRM, I'm sure. This is based on the multimedia player application of Fraunhofer, who I think has done a lot here. Gospel Chinese working with Anktrish. They are a Chinese company producing all sorts of receivers, and they have partners in India as well as distributors. And I think that we are working towards creating the ecosystem and supporting the receiver manufacturers by giving them all the tools and recommendations. We have created a receiver functionality recommendation. So whatever comes in the market works for the Indian listener, but is also product that can be exported. With this, I'm finished. Please become members of the DRM. Keep in touch with us and see us at IBC. Thank
My name is Santosh Pandey, and I'm a founder of Skylab Solution India Private Limited. We are primarily into the hardware manufacturing, and we have got our own platform. We have manufactured various type of IoT hardwares in the last 15 years. Currently, we have more than 300,000 hardwares talking to our server for the various and solving various problem to the various industries. We have more than 100 plus cumulative experience of the communication, communicating with the various type of platforms. So these are the team members we have. I'll just skip this one. So this is a small journey of my company, established in 2012. And see, the Skylab basically we mainly focus on the problem solving. Okay, so that's how we started. Uh, my first product was it's a kind of a communicating with the taxi application. So where we used to put the MDT. It's a mobile data terminal, and using the GPRS, because at that time the GPRS was the communication medium available for the data transmission. So we use the GPRS terminal, and we used to sending the message to the taxi driver, getting the confirmation, and allocating the job to the drivers based on the geo tagging and all. So the first device we made in 2012, and that device basically solved the problem for the autos wala, where the first of its own kind of device which we made in India, that is called EFM, that is electronic fare meter, which got the GPS, GSM, the taximeter according to the ERTL standard. And this device was certified by the government of India. And still you can see the lots of Delhi auto, they are using that device. But but again, we had a lots of issue with the communication over there. Then in 2013, we got a sorry 2012 we got a very good opportunity to work on the emergency response system. That is one of the big project we handled, and there we got this order for the Bihar government where we used to do handle almost 65,000 calls every day, and we used to dispatch 750 ambulances for the against the emergency calls. Slowly, we learned. We had a lots of challenges with the technology because the our the telecom infrastructure was not in that good condition. So, and we were lots of dependent on the international device supplier. So from 2015 onwards, we started focusing on Make in India kind of things. We in 2016 we made our first Make in India device under AS004 compliances. Okay, and that is specifically for the mining companies. Okay, and we deployed more than 150,000 device in one of the state. Slowly, if you see, by 2017, 18, or for not even the 17, the 2012, 13, when the Nirvya can't happen, the government put this the mandatory for putting the video camera or CCTV to be placed into the public transportation system. But somehow, because of the lack of the infrastructure, that that project, we had lots of issues because
the video was not able to transmit to the server side. So I always used to think that what can be the best way, to solve that problem where, all the moving vehicles can stream the data to the server side, and if there is, anything happening inside the bus or any public transportation vehicle, the nearest system should get alert. Okay, first of all, the operator should get alert, the police should get alert, and all this. But somehow we always had a challenge. So somehow, we at that time we could not deliver that project. From 2019 onwards, I started focusing a lot on this, the video telematics. Okay, and then I came across the video compression technology. So here, for under the Make in India, for particular for the media, for the information and broadcasting segment, we are offering two type of solution. So basically, these solutions are going to help a lot for the service provider by saving lots of money and plus securing their content. Okay, uh, these solutions already we have tried, we have tested, but still we are evolving that one. We are doing lots of update so that, we can have a better solution in the future for uh, the media. I will say so. We have a three Make in India component. That is one, it at the journalist level, where, you know uh, journalists basically they carry a camera and they feed the information to the OB band. From there, it goes to satellite and back to the users. So normally, people they use satellite-based communication, and the company, they charge heavily for all this, the communication this thing. So what we have done, and again, let's say satellite is okay, but let's say you want to use some other technology communication medium, so you don't have that kind of bandwidth to transmit the data. So what our system does, we have a hardware, okay, which you can add with the camera, and at the edge level, the system compress the video up to 90%, okay, without compromising on the quality and other uh, feature, features. And once the video is compressed at 90%, then it's easy to transport to the back end, okay. So there you can save lots of money, and the video can easily transmit to the server side. So this is the first, we have been using this solution for normally the transport and for various other infrastructure project, where the camera feed we are compressing at the edge level and easily bringing to the server side for their security purpose. The second solution we have for the streaming, where you are getting the multiple type of streaming at the server side. So streaming also you can compress up to 90%. Finally, we have another product which where lots of contents are available at the back end, where the service provider, they spend lots of money for the storage and maintaining those things. So that content also we can compress up to 90%. So there you can save lots of money, huge money. Okay, if you see, because India is multicultural, multi-language, there are so many contents available. So so these are the features. I'm just giving you the summary about all those things. So I can share this PPT later on. So here you can see this is the architecture of our solution, where any type of video comes to our platform, we have a capability to compress it, and further, at the back end you can use it in your as per your application. So then when you have so many connected devices, then you always have a challenge for the cyber security. Okay, so we have a develop a solution, that is a skywall. It's a thermal, it's a monitor, it's a firewall monitoring system. So it's a software based technology, it's not a hardware, so it sits on the top of your hardware. Okay, so the company, they are using multiple type of firewall. So our software basically sits on the top of that the firewall, and it prioritize the threat, because normally what happens, the firewall, they give you the list of the ransomwares, the list of the threats what you have. But my system will give you, okay, out of this 10, the 3 threats are very important for you, so you focus on that instead of you're focusing on all the threats. So that solution also we have made, and it has been under testing, and maybe we'll release the commercial version maybe mid of next week. So these are the two product which we are making it here, and the first product is already available commercially in the market. Second product would be available by mid of August, and it's all 100% make in India. We own the IPR, although we have a lots of international alliances in that one, because once you talk about the cyber threat and all, then you have to be, part of your global threat group, okay? Because from there you can get the access of those ransomwares. So we talk to many international company, and jointly we are trying to develop a better solution for that one, which can be scalable and useful for the our clients.
You are working on, India has always been considered since 1990s as one of the software powers of the world. I'm sure a lot of broadcasting equipments which we feel hitherto are imported 100% from outside, but they do contain bits and pieces of software which has been made in India. But the effort of the government is to indigenize, make in India to at least more than 50% in each of these individual equipments, right from acquisition stage, these cameras, to the production stage, wherein where, we do the production of programs, to also the broadcast stage where the transmission and the receiving equipments are there. Most of it, as of today, also about 80 to 90% of them are imported. And there is a whole ecosystem, even apart from the private players. We also, for Prasar Bharati, we have a scheme wherein we develop the broadcasting infrastructure development, and about 500 crores are spent every year by the government in procuring these items. And most of it, after giving the approvals of this, it is we are flooded always with the Make in India exemptions, because such equipments are not available in India. And because these equipments fall in the domain of electronics, they fall very close to electronics. And Mighty has been working. And there was a talk, I think Puneet sir also gave us this thing, that they have already come up with clusters wherein these manufacturing hubs have been created. We as broadcast industry should utilize these clusters and should make sure that these kind of equipments are also bought into that umbrella, and the manufacturing of those things can also start in India. Now I'd like to invite my next panelist, Mr. Tushar Kothari, who's the CEO and MD for Beehive Systems.
I'm going to just give a few ideas here which could initiate or my learnings which could make this Make in India program even more effective. And in these 17 years, when we've been participating in exhibitions across the world, whether it is in Las Vegas or IBC or Broadcast Asia in Singapore or in Dubai, each of these exhibitions have a pavilion from a country. So Britain has her own pavilion, China has its own pavilion, and is pretty much funded by the government. And I think it is time for the Indian government to step up and help us participate in these exhibitions. Not only us, but the new evolving companies that are coming in. They should be supported by giving that facility to be able to go to these exhibitions and show their product and kind of onboard customers at a very low cost. In the 17 years that we kind of built this brand globally, we spent close to 20 crores only on exhibitions, which is quite a bit of a challenge for a upcoming company. So I think that's an important contribution that the government can make. Um, there is also a talk about indigenized. So and that is one thought process. The second one is that the VC investment, if you look at it, and we look at how to grow this Make in India program, the VC investment in India for companies, let's say below a $5 million mark, is as low as a couple of $1 billion. The large component of the VC and the private equity money flows into larger companies which they want to go to the public or get listed. So unfortunately, till the time again the government steps up and does not have a return on investment kind of a focus, but invests in these ideas to kind of nurture these smaller companies. this whole ecosystem, which is prevalent in the US and in China, which is our main competitor, is not going to happen. We would need to really step it up. There's a 1,000 crore fund. I believe $1 billion in VC money has to be matched with a $4-5 billion investment by the government in these startup companies. Once that whole thing starts to happen, manufacturing will happen, a whole lot of other stuff will happen. So I think we have the wherewithal, we have the capabilities from a financial standpoint, and I thought I will kind of bring that up also as one idea. And the last idea that I have is that India also, under the CSR scheme, uh, funds a lot of money to various countries. A percentage of that money should actually be spent on Indian products to be given to those countries. It creates a kind of a deal flow from those countries, which helps these companies to kind of, grow and become better. So that's also, and I've noticed this across various last decade of our journey, that we have a lot of funds available which we give out to these countries. Obviously, these are CSR, so you want to take care of other pressing needs in that country rather than push products in certain areas. But a small percentage could also make a difference, and Make in India, companies under the Make in India could really benefit. So, these are the few ideas I think which we could work on and can really help these companies to nurture in this country today.
Yeah, absolutely correct. So I think it's a very important food for thought for government also going forward in its policies.
We've actually in the past seen that technology finds its way into media, especially news media, before any other field, and which so all of us have witnessed the transition from the analog era to the digital area to the online and now AI, completely transforming media. And I think the reasons are two. One is the fact that it shows the importance of news media in our lives. As human beings, we always want to be aware of what's going on in the world. And the other is, uh, I think, the sheer adaptability of people within the industry, which makes them adopt new technologies much more rapidly than in a lot of other industries. And in my personal capacity, I deal with a lot of industries, and I find that people are a lot more wary, scared of new technology and adoption of new technology than this. So that's a good thing. Um, we are already seeing multiple applications of artificial intelligence in news media. I'm sure all of us can evidently point out things which are being done by AI. But what we don't see is there is a lot more application at the back end, and some of our panelists can shed some more light on that, which is being used in news gathering and the daily operations and so on. Um, there is AI presents opportunity in completely transforming this industry, um, right from news gathering to fact checking to subject understanding, content creation and production, whether it is text, audio, video, images, what have you. Um, while making news gathering also easier, but content can also be written much faster. So already I'm sure in the newsrooms we are finding people using ChatGPT or Gemini to write content, but also understand subjects a lot more rapidly. I mean, news is a business which moves so quickly that in a day you could be moving from political battles to battlegrounds, from sports to cinema, geopolitics, what have you. And therefore, uh, for any one single person to be aware of everything in every field is really very hard. And this is what these AI tools are enabling us to do, to be able to learn very quickly and be able to present that to our viewers rapidly. In fact, now most of these chatbots offers what is called deep research tools. So you can have an in-depth paper created on any single subject, which can be then um, created in a better presentation format by the TV stations or any other media channel and put out. Um, Image generation is really very good and realistic now, and we're seeing applications of that. But also audio, so you can any content can be dubbed in multiple languages, and therefore, the spread and reach of the content being produced in one language can go into multiple languages. And then all our panelists represent markets which are not primarily English, but primarily driven by the local languages. And in India, we have the added complexity of so many languages which are almost mainstream. But AI, more than that, can also today create songs, videos, all kinds of content. Just today, before coming here, I was watching an ad entirely created with VO3 from Gemini, and it was truly amazing in terms of its quality, lifelike, and so on. Um, we also have tools like Notebook LM from Google, which can convert any document, PDF document, into a podcast. And therefore, you don't need real people to do a podcast. Um, in more and more, um, publishers are looking at embedding AI tools within their news stories. So if I want to do more research, want to find out more, then it can be done right within the news story itself, or it can summarize the story and give me the headlines very quickly. Um, People are moving away from physical fact checkers, human fact checkers, to Grok and Perplexity to find out more about subjects and check whether this is true or not. And therefore, we are finding our social media feeds are now full of replies from Grok and Perplexity. And this is just the beginning. It's just been the 2.5 years of rapid AI development after Gen AI was launched, and this is going to be much faster. Um, there is another shift which has been happening, but completely accelerated with the use of AI, which is any individual can become news media now. Right, the power of smartphone, social media, and AI put together means that each one of us can create high quality content just by ourselves at almost no cost, and then put it up online. And there, as a result, we are seeing lots of individuals become news media in themselves. Now, this puts added pressure on media organizations. Most of us here represent media organizations which have put in large investments in infrastructure, in people, and uh, in building these organizational brands over a period of time. And then comes an individual with just a smartphone, some AI tools, and uh, they are producing content as much as an existing brand. Um, so that's a challenge for news media organizations, but also an opportunity to learn from these new people and see how they can be better. Um, but at the same time, there are challenges. There is the dark side of AI. AI also enables people to create fake news, deep fake videos, and all kinds of wrong content, also cyber attacks and so on. Um, so these are things that we have to be watchful for, and therefore there is enough talk of responsible AI to create systems, tools, etc., in place so that the viewers are made well aware of what's good and what's not good for them. Um, because there is so much content being developed, um, the other factor is that there is just too much content out there. So, in fact, there are some studies saying that almost 50% of new internet content being generated these days is generated by AI, right? And a lot of that is very poor quality, but it's just flooding the entire internet. Every day, for example, 50,000 AI generated songs are uploaded on various streaming platforms. And therefore, why should I listen to existing artists, etc.? So it starts threatening um the livelihoods of creative people who are already in the business. Um, on top of that, uh, the social media tools, etc., are now using AI increasingly in their algorithms, the software behind their systems, which suggest what to watch. And these softwares, the algorithms have become so sophisticated that very quickly they can figure out human behavior, basis what we are watching, just basis that, or what we are commenting and liking, etc. and basis that they start suggesting content which uh, they believe that we should be watching basis the mapping of our behavior. Now that's quite dangerous, because over a period of time, then I start getting content of only one kind, and then it reinforces what is called confirmation bias, which is a well established psychology theory. So if there is confirmation bias, then I will keep uh, you know thinking of only one aspect of that particular news or story, etc., and I'm not open to the other side because I've never been exposed to it. Um, Having said all this, I think the really heartening thing is, and that's the broad theme of this organization, is the fact that there is a lot of work happening in India in development of the entire AI infrastructure. Now, to build AI, it's not about the software solution, which is the AI model, but it's also about having the hardware infrastructure in terms of compute, GPUs, and so on. So, India AI mission has already put together a framework in place that offers 50,000 GPUs, which is a very large number, and therefore can help build most foundational models in the country. We have now two companies which have come up in the last few months with their own foundational models built entirely on Indian data, especially language data, and relevant with the Indian context and culture. And there are a large number of startups working in the AI domain, developing various applications. And I'm sure in broadcasting, everybody has been dealing with a lot of these small companies and startups who are doing some very good work. So that was a brief setup. I will now invite my panelists to share their experience in terms of what are the applications they're seeing in the newsrooms today, and what do they believe AI will do in the coming future. What are the challenges they're facing, and what are their strategies to tackle those challenges, some of which I highlighted, but I'm sure they have more things to share. So let me start with Sumit first. And Sumit, why don't you share your experiences?
Yes, AI is a challenge, no doubt about this. But day by day, we are learning how to use it as much as we can, because newsrooms में, especially in Hindi newsrooms, में creativity को लेकर बहुत से debates होते रहे हैं. I would like to emphasize on that कि अब हम लोगों ने बहुत तेज़ी से पिछले 6 महीनों में, 8 महीनों में ये चेंज ओवर देखा है कि जो छोटी-छोटी चीज़ें हैं, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल ग्राफ़िक्स, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल रिसर्च, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल ग्रॉक का यूज़, चैट जीपीटीज़ बहुत फ्रीक्वेंट होता जा रहा है। इन एवरी स्टोरी व्हिच वी आर क्रिएटिंग, डेवलपिंग, तो ये काम बड़ा आसान हो गया है। बट आई एम अ फर्म बिलीवर, यू कांट यू कांट डिफीट द टेक्नोलॉजी। टेक्नोलॉजी इज़ गोइंग टू स्टे। You have to be adaptive to this. You have to learn how to make best of it. Otherwise, you will be left out. You remember आलोक जी, हम लोगों ने जब कंप्यूटर्स आए थे तो ये डिबेट भी शुरू हो गया था कि न्यूज़ रूम में कौन जाएगा, न्यूज़ कौन पढ़ेगा, पेपर बाहर हो जाएँगे, इस तरह की चीज़ें। सीएनजी आई तो पेट्रोल को क्या होगा, डीज़ल को क्या होगा? बट आज सभी कुछ एक्सिस्ट कर रहा है। दे ऑल आर एक्सिस्टिंग टुगेदर, एंड इन फैक्ट हम लोगों ने चीज़ों को अडॉप्ट करना सीख लिया है कि कैसे चैलेंजेस को बेस्ट हम बना सकते हैं। तो न्यूज़ रूम में रिसेंटली जो मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया है, नाउ वी हैव अ एआई एंकर आल्सो ऑन वन ऑफ द न्यूज़ चैनल्स, और बड़े प्रोमिनेंटली उसको वो प्रमोट करते हैं। देयर इज़ अ एआई एंकर ऑफ अ डिजिटल न्यूज़पेपर, हू इज़ अ हिंदी न्यूज़पेपर, और वो इस हिंदी न्यूज़ चैनल के पहले से उस न्यूज़पेपर के पास एक एआई एंकर है, और जो उनकी स्टोरीज़ को पढ़ के सुनाती है, दिखाती है आपको। तो ये चीज़ें 2-3 साल से बहुत तेज़ी से बढ़ी हैं। बट मैं, जैसे मैंने शुरू में कहा, मैं फिर उस चीज़ को रिपीट कर रहा हूँ, देन वी विल ओपन दिस टू ऑल द पैनलिस्ट। यू कांट इग्नोर द ह्यूमन टच। मशीन इज़ अ मशीन। मशीन के पास वही होगा जो मशीन के अंदर होगा। ओपन इंटरनेट पे जो इन्फॉर्मेशन होगी वही वो बता सकता है। ओपन इंटरनेट में ये इन्फॉर्मेशन थोड़ी होगी कि बीएस के इस कमरे में वो चौथे नंबर की कुर्सी पर कौन बैठ के सो रहा था, और सातवें नंबर की कुर्सी पे कौन किससे बात कर रहा था। ये तो मेरी आंखें ही बता सकती हैं। तो जब तक वो मैं इन्फॉर्मेशन इंटरनेट पे डालूंगा नहीं, तब तक किसी को पता नहीं चलेगा। तो इससे डरने की और घबराने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, लेकिन हाँ, न्यूज़ रूम के लोगों को ये भी अपनी माइंडसेट को चेंज करने की बहुत तेज़ी से आवश्यकता है। नहीं चेंज करेंगे तो पीछे छूट जाएँगे। सारा इश्यू माइंडसेट का है। हम अगर कंप्यूटर से डरेंगे कि टाइपराइटर का क्या होगा, टाइपिस्ट का क्या होगा? आज की तारीख में हम सब टाइपिस्ट ही हैं। हम सब अपनी स्टोरी कंप्यूटर पे लिख रहे हैं, इनफैक्ट फ़ोन पे लिख रहे हैं आजकल तो स्मार्टफ़ोन में तो नरेशंस दे रहे हैं ऑडियो और उसमें स्टोरी लिखी जा रही है। तो चीज़ें बदलती हैं, हमको बदलना खुद को चाहिए। अगर हम नहीं बदलेंगे, तो हम ही पीछे छूट जाएँगे और हम ही हार जाएँगे। और ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है, दुनिया तो बहुत आगे निकल चुकी है। अब तो करियर काउंसलिंग एआई चैटबॉट से हो रही है। तो साइकोलॉजिकल काउंसलिंग एआई लोग कर रहे हैं। आपका दोस्त जो है दुनिया में सबसे अच्छा वो एआई का कोई रोबोट है, जिसके साथ आप सब कुछ शेयर कर रहे हैं और वो आपको सब कुछ सलाह भी दे रही है कि आपको ये करना चाहिए, सिचुएशन में वो करना चाहिए। तो द डे वी हैव अब जब जिस दिन हमने कंप्यूटर पे स्पेल चेक अलाउ किया कि आपकी स्पेलिंग को आपने ठीक से लिख नहीं रहे हैं, वो मेरे ख्याल से वो पहला दिन था जब आपने कंप्यूटर से कहा कि आप जो कहेंगे हम उसको सच मान लेंगे। तो जब आपने कंप्यूटर को आपने कलर की स्पेलिंग COLOUR के बदले COLOR उसने बताई, तो आपने उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लिया। तब हमको समझ में आ गया कि ये चीज़ जो है दुनिया में बहुत तेज़ी से बदलने वाली है और बदल चुकी है और आने वाले अब तो पिछले 2 साल में तो क्रांति आई है और अगले 5 सालों में तो बहुत कुछ बदलने वाला है। तो बी रेडी टू अडॉप्ट दिस अगर हम नहीं तैयार रहेंगे तो नुकसान अपने ही करने वाले हैं।
So no doubt about it that technology is a revolution, it's a challenge, and it's not cannot replace journalism. For the sake of that, we all journalists, especially if you are an investigative journalist, you will learn how to ask difficult questions, so the machine cannot answer you. But what worries me is the ethical of it. That's you. Like in every newsroom, you used to have an editor who you give him the script, he edit for you, and then that he was the artificial intelligence for you. Now things have changed. Technology take over, you give this is the news, but you does it have the human ethics of it or the touch of it? And I can give example where I was using, for my daughter birthday was on the same day I came to know it's her birthday, and usually I fill up one page for every daughter of mine about how good she is, how nice throughout her life. So I used the AI for the writing the script, and I was in a hurry because I said just let me see it can elaborate, expand. After some time, my daughter called me and said, "Dad, can I ask you a question?" I said, "What?" I said, "Did you use artificial intelligence in writing your feeling?" I said, "Well, I did give the machine my what I want, but I didn't put all the content." Yes. So she said there was no feeling in it. The feeling is that there is no feeling in that sense of take using the machine. So therefore, even in medical lines, when you have a pharmacy, you are a doctor, you give a prescription to a patient, you know his line of recovery. So this is a machine. You feed it with all what you want, and then it will respond to that. But if you ask it tricky questions, accuracy, accountability, it does not have to give you all that details. So I think the artificial intelligence, it is a supplement to what the journalist does. It's not a challenge that we should be worried that we may not be able to sit down in the newsroom or in the field. And I give you example, one of the leading channels in the world, they had, I think in India was their largest numbers of employees there. But whenever I used to be in the channel, I'm not with them, by the way, but they will pick up from the newsroom and call me if there is a major incident in India. And I asked him, why you have hundreds of correspondents in India? Why you call me? He said, because whenever we call you, your presence at the site of the events. That makes lots of difference. If you are intelligence person sitting in the office, understand that you are not only typically copy paste and you're putting nowadays with everybody sitting in the rooms in five-star hotel in AC room writing articles, writing like us. For us, a television challenge is much more, and I think Sumit knows this. We all have a difficulty in giving you the reality on the ground. You have to be present physically. You cannot artificially create a war zone area. You cannot artificially say somebody shooting at you or you have been abducted in a war zone. So all these challenges which face a journalist in the field, definitely the machine will only enhance in giving you a better language, in giving you a better accuracy, and maybe a better of drafting the things. But in terms of your value to your own audience, to your own viewers, I'm sure you will still retain that sharehold and nobody can challenge this. And I think these are the thought we should all think about it, and how to face all this sort of how do you, that we meet the challenge. It's not an individual job. We cannot do it individually as a journalist. It has to be done by the media organization. It has to be done by the government. It has also be done by the technical companies, which they were talking previous session to us. These are the people who should be. What worries me now, actually, I'll end with this, that they are teaching these machines how to lie. So now it's the matter of the truth, that you, it doesn't define what you are, but they are defining for you the truth. So if the machine start telling you lies, then God help us. And I think that's the challenge. We have to face it, and you have to continue to do your own work in your own pace using the technology, because after all, it is you who will be responsible and ethically responsible for giving the right things to the right people and to building a public opinion, and not the machine. Thank you.
Actually, what all the speakers said that we face in Indonesia, and I had an example for AI anchors in Indonesia. Maybe the committee can play the video first. This is the example what happened in Indonesia when Indonesia National Television use AI for anchor.
Tempat presenter baru di TV1.ai. Mulai pekan ini, mereka akan menemani kalian mengupdate berbagai informasi. Kita mulai dari Rania. Rania, hai, saya Rania. Saya akan membawakan berita fashion, movie, dan lifestyle. Saya Anya, saya akan membawakan berita ekonomi dan bisnis. Saya Kiko, saya akan membawakan berita luar negeri dan olahraga.
Dan saya Glenn. Saya akan membawakan berita seputar musik, entertainment, dan teknologi.
Okay. Thank you so much. As a member of Indonesian Broadcasting Commission, we're always driven our broadcasting institution to get adapted and always innovation in digitalization and so on and so on. But the fact is, Indonesian national television that use AI for several yeah, just like anchor and maybe script and maybe another, the fact is they lose the rating in their program. Maybe just like Mr. Awad said that tools or machine cannot do the empathy, cannot emphasize the yeah, like Mr. Awad said, when we are reporting about disaster news, maybe the machine can do the empathy. So Indonesian viewers feel that they didn't get the information as a fully as a reporter or the producer that come to the location. So the question in Indonesia is whether AI is a trend or necessity for now, but what is the what is the difference between trend and then integrity and then code ethic in journalism? We have to face it as a challenge in our country. And then just like Mr. Award or the speaker said before, in Indonesia the challenges is about the regulation. We don't have any regulation for the AI content yet. So we have to sit down with the Ministry of Communication in Indonesia to talk about what is the regulation for the AI. Because, like Mr. Awad said before, AI can be lie maybe. AI can describe what is happened exactly in the situation when reporter come to the location for report and something, and then he just use AI for the script. It's also been different when, yeah, I myself, before I am member of commission Indonesian Broadcasting Commission, is a journalist for about 18 years, so I know exactly how to pronounce just like simple thing, just like my the name of my speaker maybe when I get the interview, but AI cannot do that. That's the challenge for our news media in Indonesia to use artificial intelligence. But we cannot pursue. Yes, we have to innovation. We have to We cannot go forward from digitalization, but AI Indonesia is has a long journey to become one of maybe part of news media. Then maybe one of the challenge also in Indonesia is why should be AI in news media? First of all, as we knew that news production needs speed and accuracy. Yeah, we know it. Yeah, Mr. Awad, kemudian, and then all of the speakers say that. And then cost effectiveness in operation can be lost by AI. And then yeah, keeping up with global trend is one of the reason why maybe AI should part of a news media. But the question is, all enable newsroom to do more with fewer users, but w- what do we get from AI? And then what do we lose from AI? That's the big question for Indonesian national television or maybe radio also, yeah, because in Indonesia, television and radio is two of national broadcasting institution that always used by our community, our society. And then in Indonesia context, there is a question about how is the novelty or misstep of the using of AI in the newsroom. And then some Indonesian TV station said that, yeah, like I said before, viewers number decline. Um, if we said about viewers numbers decline, yeah, they lose the money also. Yeah, because yeah, as you know, that's when viewers is down, and then there is no maybe yeah, the economic is also affected by that. And then lack of interaction and empathy from AI, one of this AI anchor is one of the reason why now they think about it to use AI in their daily routine for news media and news production. It's also happened in digital broadcasting institution like .com or something that based on internet. They also lose their viewers when the reporter use AI for the script, even though they didn't see as a visual like a television, but the viewers feel it when they use AI as a script. They know, and then they lose the viewers also. So I think that's the challenges happen in Indonesia. But of course there is pro also about the AI in news production. First of all, maybe driving innovation in reach and the speed of the information that can be held by AI also. And then content recommendation based on viewer preference. It's just like algorithm happen in AI. It's so easily for reporter to use. You just can uh click by, I mean, just like Miss India BES Expo, for example. Oh, it's you can do anything with that with AI script, and then everything you can do with AI. But like I said before, negative impact of AI, first of all, loss of emotion and human engagement, especially in live television, and also over reliance and automatically reducing human oversight. And then I cannot overthinking. It just can produce what you are want. Yeah, Mr. Awad, is it right? You use that, right? It just can produce what you click. Yeah, without any maybe simple thing when we produce script, just like where, why, whom, and then yeah, five V and one H. Yeah, simple thing. And then we can say that potential job displacement for reporter, script writer, and host. Yeah, we know that now. Yeah, broadcasting journey is not like 10 or 15 years before. Many of Indonesian national television lay off day workers. So yeah, we have to think about it. AI is positive, but AI also have negative side. when we said about how we use and how we produce the news from for newsroom, yeah, especially. Oh, we won't talk about another production. I mean, it's just news production, right? Not just like travel news or maybe leisure news and so on and so on that can be produced a simple script or maybe just like not so serious like news uh, media. So this is our concern, and also we thank you to our government also to driven us to think about how AI can be positive for news media in Indonesia. Maybe that's that I can say. Thank you very much.
As far as the challenges, the tools, look, sir, होता क्या है कि for example, we are trying to adopt a tool which who can voice over like you. Okay. So they were experimenting yesterday itself with my voice for if I'm not there, so they can do my voiceovers. So when I do my voiceovers, I can correct the script. I can amend the script depending on the situation. कि सिनेरियो चेंज हो गया है, इन मौके पे क्या चीज़ आई, क्या चीज़ डिलीट हो गई। बट मशीन तो वही पढ़ेगी जो उसके हाथ में कागज़ में दिया गया है, उसके पास वो फ़ील नहीं आएगा। अब हिंदी में हम लोग बहुत अच्छे से एग्ज़ाम्पल देके समझा सकता हूँ, कि हम कहते हैं अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा है और हम कहते हैं अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा है। वर्ड तो अच्छा ही है, पर आपका टोन क्या कह रहा है? द व्हाट यू वांट टू से इज़ टोटली डिफरेंट। मशीन वो चीज़ नहीं समझ सकती है, जो बात आवाज़ साहब बोल रहे हैं, उससे मैं 100% सहमत हूँ। एक तो आपके वैल्यूज़ और आपके इमोशंस। मुझे कोई चीज़ पसंद आती है, तो मैं उसके लिए एक फीलिंग रखता हूँ। क्या कोई चीज़ पसंद नहीं आती है, तो मेरे मन में एक फीलिंग होती है। मशीन को कुछ भी पसंद नहीं आ सकता। मशीन को बताना पड़ेगा कि ये अच्छा है या बुरा है। ऐसे बहुत से एग्ज़ाम्पल्स रोज़ होते हैं हम लोगों के साथ। अ, मैं मोहब्बत कर सकता हूँ, मशीन मोहब्बत नहीं कर सकती है। मैं फ़ेल हो सकता हूँ मोहब्बत में, मशीन फ़ेल नहीं हो सकती मोहब्बत में। इट्स लाइक दिस। तो मैं सिर्फ़ इतनी सी बात कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि ये जो टूल्स हैं, आपको क्रिकेट पिच न्यूज़ रूम में दिखानी हो, आपको वॉर ज़ोन दिखाना हो, आपको बहुत बड़े लार्जर दैन लाइफ ग्राफ़िक्स दिखाने हो, आपको इस एरा में बाहुबली जैसी फ़िल्म में सब कुछ स्टूडियो में बैठ के आप एडिट कर सकते हो, जो कि राजामौली साहब ने किया। ये सब चीज़ें बहुत आसान हैं। पर एट द एंड ऑफ द डे स्टोरी मैटर्स, नैरेटिव मैटर्स, इमोशंस मैटर्स। लेकिन मैं ये चैलेंज सर, क्योंकि हमने 5 साल पहले ये इमेजिन नहीं किया था जहाँ हम आज हैं। दुनिया बदल गई है, मैं इसको गारंटी के साथ बोल रहा हूँ, अगले 5 साल में ये इमोशंस, ये वैल्यूज़, इस पर काम किया जा रहा है। मैं कई ऐसे बच्चों को जानता हूँ जो अपने आईआईटियंस हैं, आईआईटी बॉम्बे से पास आउट हैं, मुझसे मिले थे। दे वर वर्किंग ऑन ह्यूमन क्लोन्स, डिजिटल ह्यूमन क्लोन्स। They are making my clone. They wanted my approval. They wanted to create a debate show with me as an anchor कि हम मैंने कहा मैं नहीं दूँगा परमिशन, तो बोला कि मैं आपका उसकी लुक थोड़े से चेंज कर दूँगा, दाढ़ी उसकी कर दूँगा और उसका नाम सुमित के बदले अमित कर दूँगा, बट वो आपकी तरह दिख रहा होगा। दुनिया को आपका जैसा लगेगा। तो ये जो फाउल प्लेज़ हो रहे हैं, ये जो फेक न्यूज़ क्रिएट जो आप जिसका ज़िक्र आप कर रहे थे, डीप फेक्स क्रिएट किए जा रहे हैं, इससे बचने के लिए एक रेगुलेशन, एक सिस्टम, एक अवेयरनेस क्या सरकार कर सकती है या मिनिस्ट्री कर सकती है या हम लोग कर सकते हैं एज ए इंडस्ट्री, उस पर काम करने की ज़रूरत है ताकि सही चीज़ें सही पर्सपेक्टिव में आगे जाएँ। दैट्स द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज वी आर गोइंग टू फेस नाउ।
So with that, we'll close the panel today. Thank you very much.